So, a little bit of important context. The contracts that were leaked 7 months ago about Zenless Zone Zero creators and Wuthering Wave creators, which you want more info on, you can watch Gotcha Smack's video on it. A recent scandal happened where Nerumero was told to stop playing Wuthering Waves and playing Genshin Impact by what we thought was his management company. What's happening now is that leaks are surfacing that there was actually the Genshin management company, and things are getting very messy. So, we're going to see what's actually going on here. We're going to see if we can get informed on whatever scummy shit is happening right now. Ryuku obviously speaks Japanese, so I'll have good insight. Let's see what's going on.
I mean, that's pretty shitty, you've got to be honest. Nerumero doesn't deserve this kind of treatment, in my opinion. Not by another person in the community, but actually by Hoyoverse themselves. Which
Really?
is even worse, to be honest. Okay, guys, there's been a
What the fuck?
bit of a massive scandal in the JP side of
Wait,
things.
so it's real?
Hoyoverse official content creators. You might have seen this post here on Twitter. It currently has 16,000 likes with 4.8 thousand bookmarks and over 4 million views.
Damn!
And with a quick translation up here, it says, so they were officially told not to play Wuthering Waves, after all. So I want to get into this. I want to really dispel what's true, what's not true, and just explain what the whole timeline of things is. So let's just get right into it. So first, I'm going to listen to this clip, and then we're actually going to check out the context of what led up to this, what he said before, what he said here exactly, and also what's said after as well. So let's go into it.
名調が始まった時に
So when he started playing Wuthering Waves?
あんまり名調やらんでほしいですって話があったんですよ
Yeah, so what he just said there is that he was contacted, because I've seen the entire context of things, that this section here, he was asked, or rather, this is a bit of a lost in translation thing with Japanese. They said, we would prefer it if you didn't play Wuthering Waves. But this is a thing with Japanese where there's a lot of subcontext into what they actually mean about things. Like if I ask someone to do something for me and they say, that's a little bit difficult. I mean, they're not saying no, but effectively saying, yeah, no, go fuck yourself. That's the way Japanese works as a language. So even though they are saying we would prefer it if you didn't, and with him being at the time an official Hoyoverse content creator, the implication is that we don't want you to do that. So that's what this means here.
おもろかったわ
This is infinitely worse than what I thought. Because yesterday I was underneath the impression that it was his management company, not Hoyoverse themselves saying to not playing Wuthering Waves and to force them to play Genshin Impact. That is a horrible look. Does it get worse?
名調の配信終わった直後にさ名調の人からメール来るわ、雇用場の雇用クリエイターから連絡来るわで
So here he says that he was contacted right after he finished his initial stream of Wuthering Waves. So Nerumero here has actually streamed Wuthering Waves before, and that first time that they did that, they were contacted right away after the stream by an official Hoyoverse liaison, a person from Hoyoverse, from their content creators server in Japan, and they asked them, or rather should I say, more specifically, they said, we would prefer it if you didn't, which, like I said earlier, is like them asking them, we really don't want you to do that.
You know what's really sad about the community? Is that now people are getting used to this subject and they're not caring as much anymore. And it's kind of like the community is kind of just acknowledged that the majority of content creators who play this game don't care. They're doing it for money. They're doing it because they have to, and we don't care anymore. And it's just really sad to see the dying of true passion by the content creators that play their game, and they're okay with just accepting shills as who are going to put this game on a pedestal. It's really fucked up. I think it's really sad, and I think it's horrible for the space.
But is this really a big thing? Like, who is Nerumero? Like, are they important enough to warrant any kind of attention? Yeah, basically, yeah, they are quite big in Japan. This is Nerumero's YouTube page right here. They have 5,409,000 subscribers alone, just on their main channel, not even including the sub-channels as well. And on Twitter, they have 372,000 followers.
Yeah, they're huge.
They are pretty big in Japan.
They're huge.
Not the biggest. That goes to Maguro Head, but one of the biggest for sure. And throughout this entire time, for basically all they do is stream nothing but majorly Genshin and sometimes other Hoyoverse properties such as Zenless Zone Zero or every now and then Honkai Star Rail, but mainly Genshin, and that's their main thing. And as we just heard in the clip that we just listened to, when they did try Wuthering Waves on stream, they were asked right after, Please don't do that. Buy official Hoyoverse.
At that point, why wouldn't Hoyo or other companies just personally hire a CC that's strictly for them only? Well, who's saying that they're not?
Staff. And even though their video views don't get that many views, let's say 16,000 here, 43,000 here, like for the size of the channel, like this one here is pretty big for 246,000. They're actually mainly a live streamer on the YouTube platform. So like in Japan, the main streaming platform is in fact YouTube compared to Twitch as it is abroad. And if you see here, this is the live stream where that clip earlier was taken from. Usually their live streams get around, let's say, 66,000, 33,000. For the Mavuika, the 5.3 live stream, they got 247,000 here just on this 2.5 hour live stream by itself. 87,000 here, 54,000 for live streams here, but that stream from 20 hours ago got 129,000 because it caused quite a stir. So I want to go into a bit of what led up to that conversation and what they were talking about, because the fact of the matter is the biggest reason why this is causing a stir in Japan isn't mainly because they were told not to play Wuthering Waves. I mean, that is a big thing, but that's not the main thing as well. It's actually to do with the way that Nerumero was actually treated by the Hoyoverse staff over the past few years, which he gets into in detail over here. So they start talking about certain things around 2 minutes 35. I've got notes on here because I've already watched this entire live stream to find out the particular things in the context, because I want to give you guys as much accurate information as possible.
Good
so
dude.
2 minutes 35.
God's work.
Here they say.
スメールが一番なんか好き。スメールが一番面白かったな。その期待を超えてきたって意味では。
He's playing with Julon here. He's actually saying that his favorite area was Sumeru. And then they continue on soon in about a few seconds.
そうなんかね、名称にはね、変装スキルってものがあって。
He's talking about the intro outro skills from Wuthering Waves.
まあ原神はさ、スキル、必殺技、
Okay, so in Genshin they have the skill.
元素爆発
and the ult
で通常銃撃がある
and then normal attack.
ここプラスなんか音外スキル
But in Wuthering Waves they have this and also echoes.
爆発キャラクター切り替えた時にスキルなんか別のスキル
It's talking about the intro outro skills from Wuthering Waves.
原神に輸入しちゃっていいと思うんだよな
Yeah, and that's really interesting if you get the timing
Bro
right
saying
on that. And he
Wuha
is
is
saying
better.
that, if they implemented these kinds of things into Genshin as well, like
can't
intro
say
outro skills
that.
and something else on top of that, such as the echoes, then that could actually bring new life into their old characters as well. From
That's a
1.0
social
1.1,
credit deduction.
to make them more usable, because right now they're just collecting dust. After that, he actually talks about more things about what he likes about Genshin and that what he hopes for in the future. He also talks about Xenoson Zero a little. And later on, okay, so up to this point around here.
じゃあ
Yep.
話すか
Okay, so
なんで私がこのクリエイター抜けたかって話なんですけど
He's saying, so why did I leave the official Hoyoverse content creator program?
先行プレイに呼ばれなかったみたいな話はまあ理由の一つではある
So here he's saying that one of the reasons was because he wasn't invited into the early access servers to get early access to the characters, so he could get a feel for them, to get his own thoughts in order.
Yeah.
And so one of the reasons why he left the Hoyoverse content creator program was one of those, but that's not the only reason, nor is that the biggest reason either.
けど、まあ、それがみんな私が雇用クリエイター抜けた理由だと思ってるっぽいんだけど
So everyone thinks that's probably the main reason.
私の中だったら第3位かな
But
Context, he said that he paid a lot on Genshin back and feels like HSR and ZZ is getting all that funding, leaving Genshin in the dust. Well, that's because he's right.
for him, it's probably the third biggest reason.
もともと
There's
雇用
two
クリエイ
more.
ターからはねいる意味ないあんまないなと思ってたんだよな
And he feels like there's no real point in being an official Hoyoverse creator anymore.
There is
ほ
none.
こりも冷めた頃だと思う
And
ので
here's the reality: being an official program content creator for any game is just it does nothing. If it has to make you have any exclusivity whatsoever, do not do it. The moment somebody says you are an exclusive content creator, just say nope, pass. I'm good. You will live and die with that game. Absolutely not.
実は私雇用クリエイターに入ったのね2回目です
So this is actually the second time he's become an
1回
official
雇用クリエイ
Hoyoverse
ター入
creator.
ってたんですよ
And he says that he was actually, well, he thinks he's probably either the first or the second Japanese official content creator for Genshin. Yes.
Yeah, I was actually an official Genshin Impact content creator for a total of 2 weeks. Realized it was shit and then left.
Talking about when he was invited, like they've made this community to connect all the other content creators for Genshin.
そう
And he was really interested in
なん
that.
ですけど ある日突然追い出されちゃったんですよ。
And then one day he was like just thrown out just suddenly, like without any warning. Okay, I'm gonna like because like I said, I've actually listened to this already. What he says is that in the beginning of his YouTube career, doing content for Genshin, when he had around about 1,000 subscribers, he made a Discord server for his fans to connect and talk to him directly. And in that Discord server, this is around about 1.0, 1.1 of Genshin, like right as soon as they just started out. And at that time, there was never really any talk from officially from Genshin devs from Hoyoverse or MiHoYo at the time as they were known, that they didn't really appreciate leaks. So at the time,
makes sense.
In 1.0, 1.1, there wasn't really anything to do after you've already done the story. So after you've done the story, there wasn't much to do in the world, like at all. So a lot of people, a lot of content creators talked about leaks, about the new updates to come. So they were talking about things like newer things in Liyue, and they were talking about other things in...
There's also still nothing to do in the game.
Dragonspine as
Nothing
well.
has changed.
And so when in his Discord channel, his private Discord channel, he had a channel in there to talk about leaks. And then later on, a few months later, around 1.3 or 1.4, Genshin devs, Hoyoverse, MiHoYo, did actually release a statement saying, look, we don't really appreciate it. Can you guys refrain from doing leaks? And at that...
Okay, now I will say, if it was a public Discord that he hosted a leaks channel in, totally get it. Totally understand removing from the program. Absolutely. The problem is that it was stated that it was his private Discord, which is very different. And they should have no issue with what you're doing in private.
At the time after that notice had been sent out, Nerumero was like, yeah, fine, that's completely fair, I understand that. And they did not they did not cover any leaks since that point. However, the leak channel in his Discord wasn't really active at all. So he forgot that he had that in his Discord. And what happened later on is that someone, like after he had gotten into the official Hoyoverse content creator program, someone went to the MiHoYo devs and was basically complaining and saying, oh, you don't like leaks, but this Nerumero guy over here, he's got a leak channel in his Discord. Aren't you going to do something about that? But the thing is, though, like he was made a content creator after having this leak channel. So
yeah, we got a rat.
By, an official from MiHoYo at the time. So he thought like everything was all forgiven, like regarding the past leaked content that he had made in the past during 1.0, 1.1. But then later on as well, around the time of the Nahida trailer, there were those old rumors that Nerumero used to have this leak channel being like kicked up again. So this old history was being dragged up, and then they started getting like some negative attention. And then because of these people complaining about, oh, he used to cover leaks, so why do you have him in your official content creator program? They complained to Hoyoverse at the time, and Hoyoverse just kicked him out. They didn't ask him, because around that time he was a big streamer, he was a big content creator. They didn't ask him, they didn't reach out just to see what's going on here. They didn't do anything.
Yeah, I think removing somebody for an inactive private Discord leak channel is just weird as fuck.
And so after that happened, he actually he didn't know what happened. So he was like, oh,
public I would have understood
in the channel, in the Discord server anymore. What happened here? Maybe there might have been a mistake or something. So he actually reached out to his handler, which he's got censored up here. But basically he's just asking, I don't know what happened. I'm not sure if I've done anything wrong, but I'm not able to access the server anymore. I enjoy playing Genshin. Can someone help me with this situation? This is that post there saying, thank you for the support. Okay, this is a bit of a mistranslation. The actual phrase is Osewa Natamasa, which is a general greeting. It can mean like something like say thank you for everything so far, and also it can mean thank you for your continued support. It's just like, thank you for always being there for me up until now and hopefully going forward. My name is Nerumero and I am a YouTuber who plays Genshin Impact. I always enjoyed playing Genshin Impact. This is sudden, but it seems I have been removed from the official Genshin Discord community that I was invited to the other day. It may have been my fault, so you're saying maybe I did something wrong, I'm not too sure. But if there was a problem, I would appreciate it if you could let me know, because I just want to know what I did wrong. He's worried that he had done something wrong. He's like, okay, maybe I did something wrong. I'm worried that I might have offended other people in there, or MiHoYo as well. So I'm sorry if I have done anything wrong. I'm sorry about that. This is such a mistranslation. Douka yoroshiku onegai itashimasu. It means like, I would appreciate any help in this matter, on this issue.
For sure, he was pretty polite about it.
After he sent that message, what did this person say? What did his handler say? absolutely fucking jack shit. They ignored his ass.
That's how they goes.
They didn't say a single damn thing.
Yeah, we all remember my DMs with the Genshin community rep that said, hit me up for anything you need, and then I bumped him 20 times over 8 months and got nothing back. Yep, we all remember that.
Like, and this was sent out in 2022, October 24th. And for months and months and months after that, he had no word. He had no...
Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that when I told y'all that a official Genshin community manager was living with specific Hoyoverse content creators, and for some reason, those were the only content creators that were getting deals? Y'all remember that? Those are the only content creators that were doing events? I remember that. Yep, I remember that. And now, for some reason, ever since then, they ain't playing too much Genshin anymore. Wonder why that is. Wonder why that is.
No idea what happened, and they just were not responding to his communications like at all. And the thing he says as well is that if he was suspected of looking at leaks at this point in time,
no more sponsor,
then he would at least have wanted them to reach out and ask him, you know, because he felt like up until this point he had built up some kind of relationship with the Genshin devs, particularly this handler as well, a friendly relationship that he's providing all this content for them to promote their game. So he was really shocked and really taken aback that they just flat out ignored him. Like, they just treated him as if he was like trash on the street. And he says it was like this for about a year until another content creator called Nagi. I'm going to show you. This is another Genshin content creator here. Nagi here. They have 253,000 subscribers on here, and up on Twitter they have 122.8 thousand followers as well. And as you can see here, they basically stream almost exclusively Genshin content. So they're also another quite big content creator here in Japan.
Oh, man.
Interestingly, this is a bit of a side tangent. Interestingly, 8 hours ago, and they actually did do their first stream.
Wuthering Waves?
For Wuthering Waves.
Oh,
so
man.
The timing on this is actually quite interesting, if not a little bit suspicious. Because, like I said, they've done nothing but Genshin Impact. Oh wait, no, League of Legends. Sorry, the League of Legends there. Majorly Hoyoverse content, like say here, Arlecchino, Genshin, a bit of Zenless Zero up here as well.
Sure.
But you can see that they're mainly a Hoyoverse creator, and then just very suddenly they're putting out this Wuthering Waves content here, this Wuthering Waves stream. But Nagi is not the bad guy in this at all. I'm not saying that Nagi is suspicious themselves. I'm just saying the timing of this is a little bit suspicious, because Nagi is one of the good guys that was that helped Nerumero get back into the content creator server, because there was an event that was happening, and Nagi managed to invite Nerumero, and at that event, Nerumero was able to directly talk to someone from Hoyoverse, and basically they were able to build up another relationship, build up another line of communication. But even then, even after all this, they still weren't treated the same as the other content creators in Japan, because there were certain events that were happening in Japan. There's a lot of events for Hoyoverse, particularly Genshin in Japan, and Nerumero, even though they are a massive YouTuber, massive streamer as well, they were not invited to basically any of them. Okay. So saying this person, this is not a streamer. This is just a random person on Twitter, I think. This is Pika. This is just
I think it's fair to skip the second reason. We get it.
And the third one. And the third one is what he said earlier. The third reason is not being invited to be a part of the early access beta servers.
Sure. I mean, he left because they had some unreasonable demands and they were excluding him. I think it all makes sense.
Get his thoughts and opinions on characters when they come out. He says here. It feels complicated.
Japanese Brax is crazy. But also very true.
He likes Genshin as a game, but he doesn't like the devs. Like if something happens, then they get really high and mighty and basically look down on you. Oh, like you deserve this. You deserve all this mistreatment.
Oh, dude, trust me, man. I've been asked by Hoyo devs to take down so many fucking videos. It's insane. I think I've only done that twice. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure. But they really, really, really don't like it when they attempt to bully you to take down your videos and you say no. I will admit, I have taken down 2 videos due to their request. But it was because I was like, oh, okay, so this is misinformation. Okay, I'll get rid of it right now. But other than that, they will be asking you to just take down shit just because they don't want you to be talking about it. 100%.
Treatment as well. So It's not good. Not good at all.
抜けて良かった面もあって。
Okay, he was talking about the benefits of leaving.
Crazy people say Wuwa has no effect on Hoyo. Oh, dude, Wuwa makes Genshin sweat so much, and the community wants to get you to think that they don't care. Bro, they care so fucking bad, it's crazy. And you know what's crazy? I've done a Wuthering Wave sponsorship before on Genshin Impact, and you want to know what's, this might get me in some trouble for talking about. I believe I've talked about this before, and legally I can't lie about this. You know what's crazy? What's written on their contract for Wuthering Waves? It actually says on the Wuthering Waves contract that you can talk about Genshin Impact, but you know what you can't do? Talk negatively about Genshin Impact. That's crazy, right? That's crazy, right?
Creators in Japan.
名称が始まった時に。
Okay, this is what we got to earlier.
レベルさん、あんまり名称やらんでほしいです。
This is the clip that we just listened to earlier. This is the clip where he's saying that at the beginning when he did do his first live stream about Wuthering Waves, they came up to him and as I explained earlier, they came up to him and said, "We would prefer it if you didn't," So on top of them mistreating him for all these years, like literally years. Because Wuthering Waves came out in 2024, like this year, right? So they had this happen in 2022, and then they had another thing with anime in 2023. We had all these things happen, and no, the anime thing, sorry, happened earlier this year, should I say. So they're mistreating him for all these years, kicking out for no reason, not asking, not reaching out, not giving the benefit of the doubt, and then also isolating him and not including him in everything, in all the events that they're inviting everyone else to. And then on top of that, they're not also allowing him to be part of the early access service. So it's giving an unfair advantage to the other ones as well, even though he is a massive content creator for Genshin. So
yeah, I'll be real, man. The early access server just needs to be obliterated. It fucks people over so hard. It's so goddamn lame. It's completely ruled by nepotism, and it needs to be abolished.
On top of all that, when he did want to try to play another game, such as Wuthering Waves, they come out and say, "Oh no, we'd really appreciate it if you didn't." I mean, that's pretty shitty. You've got to be honest. I said, this is like
おもろかったわ。名称の配信終わった直後にさ、
right after he finished the high stream, the stream, should I say.
So the TLDR of this is, Hoyo devs treating this guy like shit, not offering him any perks, any benefits, and when he wants to play Wuthering Waves, they threaten him. That's insane.
And that's why he stuck with Genshin.
That is insane.
Play Wuthering Waves after that. Okay, he says here that there was no real restriction, like they didn't implement any restrictions on him, like they didn't have any power to implement any restrictions on him because he was not actually a part, he didn't actually sign any kind of contracts. He actually explains that a bit later on.
いや全然拘束力ない。ただ私は原神に恩を感じてて、
Okay, says here.
まあね、他のゲーム盛り上げるのもあれかなと思って。
So he's saying here that he feels indebted to Genshin because he's making his living off Genshin with all these views. He's basically streaming every day, and this is how he makes his money. So because he feels indebted to Genshin as a game, Genshin the game, not Genshin the devs, like not Hoyoverse, because he feels indebted to Genshin the game, and that's why he acquiesced to them asking him not to play Wuthering Waves anymore, because he understands that Wuthering Waves is a rival to Genshin, so like he didn't play.
People need to acknowledge that if Genshin was the sole reason why you got views, then anybody could go live and be a millionaire. People need to make more accountability that their spin on what playing Genshin means and how they showcase it also gives them value as a human being. And this whole undying loyalty to Genshin is the most dumb cringe shit I've ever seen.
Like that, and he would play other games, but mainly Genshin instead.
言っても大丈夫なやつ。いやもう縁切ってるからね。
Yeah, a lot of his chat here are asking him, is it okay for you to talk about this? And he's like, yeah, it doesn't matter because I've basically cut all ties with them now, so they've got really no power over me.
でもね、そのお金もらってるとかじゃないからね。
Yeah,
金銭的な拘束力とかはないし。
It's saying here that no money was exchanged hands, so there's no kind of like a contract that had been signed, so really they have no power over what he can or cannot say.
で、名調を始めたらバカおもろくてね。
He's saying that when he first started playing Wuthering Waves, it was stupidly interesting, like it was really fun.
今もうほんまに辛いんよ、原神やってて。
It's sort of difficult for him to play Genshin.
ネルメロは印象悪い人だってイメージついてるし、
like there's going to be
活動してても何かしら誰かしら文句言われるし。おもろいけどな。予告番組見てる時とかすごいワクワクするし。
Like he enjoys watching the live streams, but playing the game is difficult because there's all this baggage.
でも名調やってたらね、結構名調の人たちからね、名調のプレイヤーたちからね、めっちゃ温かく迎えてもらえるんよな。
He's talking about the Wuthering Waves community here. He's saying that that the Wuthering Waves community were very warm and they're very welcoming to him, and he felt comfortable playing the game and talking with them as compared to not Genshin community in Japan entirely, because all of his chat are basically they're Genshin players in Japan. So
every game has its flaws. I will say, Wuthering Waves has effectively made Genshin Impact's all methods of traversal feel like shit. Wuthering Waves feels like the better game in terms of exploration and combat. By far, it's not even close. I will say, Genshin's issue is toxic positivity and just flat out liars. Wuthering Waves' issue is sensitivity. Pick your poison.
He's not villainizing the Genshin community in Japan. He's just saying he does have his haters that would just like have this really bad opinion of him for whatever reason, maybe because of the whole leaks thing in the past, like years and years ago, when it was okay to, for lack of a better term, and when he did try to play Wuthering Waves, and when he has talked to those
Genshin were also sensitive. Absolutely,
Japan, they were very warm, they were very welcoming, and they were very friendly. So he really likes that. He feels welcomed by the community over here in Japan for Wuthering Waves.
They have the right to be sensitive. You saying this is another demonstrably proven true sentence that you are way too sensitive to get sensitive about being called sensitive. Relax, bro. It's not that big of a deal. Just shut up.
Okay, so here's someone said if you don't play Genshin, you won't be able to eat. And what they're basically saying
everybody knows they can be sensitive if they want to. Everybody knows.
Is that he shouldn't bite the hand that feeds him. And by that I mean that he shouldn't really abandon Genshin to go play another game such as Wuthering Waves, because if he did that, he wouldn't be able to earn enough money to, as a YouTuber or as a streamer to make a living. But in response to that, he says,
原神で私多分これ以上無理だなと思って。
He's saying here that he probably can't continue playing Genshin anymore, at least not to the degree that they have been doing so far, like up until now. He actually talks later on in this video, he actually mentioned it a little bit, but he actually talks more in detail later on that if he did need to make money, I mean, he's made quite a bit of money over the years covering Genshin, so
people do need to understand that playing Genshin equates to tons and tons and tons of fucking money, because people will accept lower tier content creators and put them on a pedestal because people just want somebody to play their game so much that they're willing to accept everybody. Anybody to play their game that likes it, they'll just push to the top. But it's such low effort slop by like these Neanderthal low IQ retards. It's so bad, bro. It's like, dude, like these CCs in Genshin would be such a fish out of water for making any other content other than just Genshin. And trust me, I say that because I know it. When I was invited to OTK and all I did was cover Genshin, I was like, oh God, I am so out of place right now. I cannot compete with these CCs. And then I boot camped myself over the next 3 years to hopefully become a bit more of a compelling individual with thoughts that are other than, oh, lol, Paimon. It's insane.
He'd put that money into stocks and he'd probably like live off stocks or something if he really needed to. I'm not really too sure if he would need to do that. He actually says that later on that he will actually still continue to play Genshin, but maybe not as much. But also while he is playing Genshin, he's going to be more frank and more open and honest with and more critical with his opinions as well about Genshin as a game. So
great.
And also like throughout all of this, his community were really supportive of him, like absolutely. I'm just want to go to these particular sections. Like they was like,
yeah, have you seen Doro's chat? Because they're doing the same shit. Doro said he's going to be more critical of Genshin Impact, and thank fucking God. And the community was supportive. We just want people to stop fucking lying. That's all we're asking for. And stop harassing the people and discrediting people and defaming people that are merely just saying, hey guys, maybe CC should be honest with their chat. It's not hard.
Sending in a lot of super chats as well.
Did you see his last tweet? No, I didn't. What is it? Oh, this one? Dear Genshin, it's time you stop fucking around and allow me to farm for a character any day of the week. Thanks. With love, everybody. No, absolutely. We all know that shit, but nobody talks about it.
Not insignificant as well. It's like 800 yen here, that's about $5 or something. Here, got another 3,200 yen here. That's
insane.
Why am I talking about this right now? Talking about the Mavorika Early Access Play.
おネルメロ先行プレイヤーどうだったみたいなコメントが来ると思って。
Okay, so he's saying that the reason why he's coming out with this information right now is because with Mavrika's early access play and gameplay footage coming out right now, he's expecting a lot of people to ask him, how's Mavrika? What do you think? And because he's not able to access that early access
piss them off because everybody else gets the benefit because they're dick suckers.
Really answer that. So he
the harder you suck Dewey's dick, the more perks you get, bro. It's fucked up.
He prepared all this in advance to let everyone know just what the situation is and why he's not in the early access server and why he's left the official Hoyoverse content creator program in Japan.
でも本当原神のクリエイターさんたちは本当にすごい人たちだし。
And he's saying here that he's not throwing any shade at all at any of the other content creators in Japan that do have access to it, or maybe if they don't have access.
I do. I'm just keeping it a bug. I'll throw shade, but I can't blame them. I mean, it's literally a free career. Like anybody can have a career if they get the early access server. They just can.
He's saying all of the content creators in Japan, they're incredible people. And he actually asks his community to continue supporting them as well, even though he might not play Genshin.
And I'd rather some people in there that I like get a free career than the people that I fucking that I hate.
As much as he has been doing over these past couple of years. Yeah, like he has fun playing Genshin, but every now and then it gets a bit painful because of all this past baggage.
Yeah, because the game fucking sucks.
Goes on to talk about his plans going forward, thanking their fans for their continued support, and that there will probably be haters out there, but like he's asking his fans, just don't interact with the haters, just ignore them. Because he actually says as well that there might be, he uses the term like a false flag operation by his haters to portray his community as being toxic in their defense of him. So he's like, no, just ignore them.
Wow, who does that sound like? I've never seen anybody in the US try that shit. Yep. Oh, everybody a part of Tectone's chat is a fucking problem. They're all toxic just like him. He has an echo chamber of a chat. You go against Genshin, bro, you will get so many negative labels on your stream. It's fucking insane. It's so pathetic.
Don't do anything. Do not defend me. Do not talk to them. Do not interact with them at all, because they're gonna do that. They're gonna do whatever they want to do. Just ignore them. Forget about it. We're gonna be here. We're gonna do our own thing, and they're gonna do whatever they want to do. For Nerumero, it's actually not just a case of him being asked, or rather heavily insinuated, told not to play Wuthering Waves. It's also all this other backlog of things. Like I said before, it's about him also being unfairly mistreated throughout the entirety of this, of him being kicked out with no warning, no message, no nothing, and then completely ignored, and then also not being invited to the...
So here's the reality. Okay, let's break this down. And I already know what people are going to say. This is how people are going to attempt to discredit and ignore the situation. They're going to say, this will be a comment on the video, and this will be highly upvoted as well. Well, actually, Tectone, it was a public Discord that he showed leaks on, so they had every single right to remove him from the Genshin Impact CC program. Okay, let's talk about that. So he was removed from the CC program, and post them removing him from the CC program, they still went into his channel and said, we would greatly prefer if you were to stop playing Wuthering Waves and continue to play Genshin Impact. If you don't deem that unnecessary harassment treatment, then I don't know what to tell you. The reality is that this guy was properly treated by Genshin. Devs wanted to play their game, but don't want to deal with the devs or the management so fucking much that he pretty much is living a unfulfilled life as a content creator, because they're telling you, play Genshin Impact or you have no career. And they don't want to give him any of the perks. They don't want to give any of the benefits. They want the exclusivity, and it's a fucking joke. Genshin Impact management has been mistreating their devs, or mistreating their players and content creators for years. And it's not getting any better. I mean, I've already told people about the contracts. We've already shown the fucking contracts. There's no speculation whatsoever. I don't know how people don't hold their content creators accountable, or how they're not holding management accountable. That's just my opinion, though. Peace.